Let me ask you something. When was the last time you watched a movie, not just for entertainment, but because you felt like you needed an escape? We live in a world where movies are often a way to disconnect, to drown out the noise of life. But what if I told you that instead of escaping, you could engage? What if there was a way to face your challenges head on, gain clarity, and actually make life simpler? Sink. Here's the expansion. In today's world, it's incredibly easy to get caught up in the allure of escapism. Movies, TV shows, and endless streams of entertainment provide us with a temporary reprieve from the challenges of our daily lives. They offer us a way to step into another world, to detach ourselves from the stresses and responsibilities that come with living in the real one. But while escapism can feel like a relief in the moment, it often comes at the cost of long-term growth. When we prioritize entertainment over personal development, we're essentially choosing to delay the work that truly matters, the work that leads to a better, more fulfilling life. The human brain craves comfort. It naturally gravitates toward activities that require little effort and provide instant gratification. That's why movies are so appealing. They allow us to sit back, relax, and absorb a story without having to contribute anything ourselves. But as we indulge in this passive consumption, we rob ourselves of opportunities to grow. Growth requires us to step out of our comfort zones, to engage with challenges, and to actively seek out knowledge and experiences that push us forward. It's not easy, and it doesn't always feel rewarding in the moment, but it's the only path to meaningful progress. When we choose escapism over growth, we also limit our potential. Every hour spent consuming entertainment is an hour that could have been spent learning a new skill, reflecting on our goals, or working towards something that matters. Imagine the cumulative effect of those hours over weeks, months, and years. The time we invest in entertainment adds up, but it rarely adds value to our lives. In contrast, the time we dedicate to growth compounds in ways that are deeply enriching. It builds resilience, expands our perspectives, and equips us with the tools we need to face life's challenges head-on. It's important to recognize that growth isn't just about achieving success in a conventional sense. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves. It's about developing the mindset and habits that allow us to navigate life with confidence, purpose, and clarity. When we focus on growth, we're not just improving our external circumstances, we're transforming our internal world. We're learning to take ownership of our lives, to find joy in the process, and to align our actions with our values. This kind of growth is deeply fulfilling, and it's something that no amount of escapism can provide. Choosing growth over escapism doesn't mean we have to eliminate entertainment entirely. It's not about rejecting movies or TV shows altogether. It's about being intentional with our time and energy. It's about recognizing when we're using entertainment as a way to avoid discomfort and making a conscious choice to redirect that energy towards something more productive. Growth often requires us to confront the very things we're trying to escape, the uncertainties, the fears, and the doubts that come with pursuing our goals. But in doing so, we build the resilience and courage needed to move forward. One of the most powerful ways to prioritize growth is by shifting our mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, we can view them as opportunities to learn and evolve. Instead of seeking comfort, we can embrace discomfort as a sign that we're on the right path. This shift in perspective doesn't happen overnight, but it's a skill that can be cultivated with practice. And as we make this shift, we start to see the rewards of growth in every aspect of our lives. We become more capable, more confident, and more connected to our sense of purpose. It's also worth noting that prioritizing growth doesn't mean we have to be perfect. There will be times when we feel the urge to escape, and that's okay. What matters is that we remain mindful of our choices and stay committed to our long-term goals. Growth is a journey, not a destination, and it's one that requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. As we navigate this journey, we'll inevitably encounter setbacks and challenges. But these moments are opportunities for growth in themselves. They teach us valuable lessons and help us build the strength to keep moving forward. The truth is, growth is often uncomfortable, but it's always worth it. It requires effort, but it also brings immense rewards. It challenges us, but it also empowers us. When we prioritize growth over escapism, we're making a choice to invest in ourselves and our future. We're choosing to create a life that's rich with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. It's a choice that requires courage and commitment, but it's one that has the power to transform our lives in ways we can't even begin to imagine. How do you know if this works? Certainly, here's the expansion for Keynote Note 2. In an era dominated by constant distractions and an overwhelming flood of information, shifting our focus from mere entertainment to genuine empowerment has never been more critical. Entertainment, while enjoyable and often necessary for short-term relaxation, is inherently passive. It gives us moments of escape and fleeting satisfaction, but does little to equip us with the tools we need to navigate and excel in real life. Empowerment, on the other hand, requires active participation. It demands that we engage with content, ideas, and experiences that inspire growth, build resilience, and foster self-awareness. It's about choosing to invest our time in what adds value to our lives rather than what simply fills it. Entertainment feeds our desire for instant gratification. It's easy, accessible, and designed to keep us hooked. Streaming platforms, movies, and other forms of media are created to entertain, not necessarily to challenge or uplift us. The problem arises when we let these passive forms of consumption dominate our time and energy. When we lean too heavily on entertainment, we risk falling into a cycle of stagnation, a state where we are consuming for the sake of consumption, not for the sake of bettering ourselves. It feels good in the moment, but over time it can leave us feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from our greater purpose. Empowerment, by contrast, asks something of us. It requires that we step into a space of curiosity and openness. It asks us to seek out resources, conversations, and opportunities that stretch our thinking and challenge our assumptions. Empowerment is active. It's something we do, not something that is done to us. It's a conscious choice to engage with life in a way that leads to growth, understanding, and self-improvement. And while it may not always feel as instantly gratifying as entertainment, the rewards are far greater and more enduring. The shift from entertainment to empowerment is not about completely abandoning the things that bring us joy or relaxation. It's about being intentional with our choices and understanding the long-term impact of how we spend our time. Watching a movie or binging a show may provide a temporary sense of relief, but does it leave you with something meaningful to take away? Does it equip you with skills or insights that can help you navigate your challenges or pursue your goals? Empowerment is about making sure that the things we engage with are not just distractions, but tools for personal and professional development. One of the key differences between entertainment and empowerment is the level of engagement they demand. Entertainment allows us to disengage, to sit back and observe without having to think too deeply. Empowerment, on the other hand, requires us to engage fully. It asks us to reflect, to question, and to apply what we learn to our own lives. This engagement can sometimes feel uncomfortable, especially when it forces us to confront areas where we need to grow or change. But it's through this discomfort that transformation happens. Empowerment challenges us to be better, to aim higher, and to take responsibility for our own growth. The path to empowerment often begins with a simple question: what do I want to take away from this experience? Whether it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, or attending a workshop, the key is to approach it with the mindset of a learner. When we consume content with the intention of gaining something valuable, be it knowledge, perspective, or inspiration, we are actively empowering ourselves. This shift in perspective turns even the most mundane experiences into opportunities for growth. It transforms how we approach life and helps us see every moment as a chance to learn and evolve. Empowerment is also deeply personal. What empowers one person may not resonate with another, and that's okay. The important thing is to identify what works for you, what fuels your passions, aligns with your values, and helps you become the person you aspire to be. This might mean exploring new interests, seeking out mentors, or diving into topics that challenge your thinking. The journey of empowerment is not about following a prescribed path, but about creating your own, one that reflects your unique goals and aspirations. Another important aspect of empowerment is its ripple effect. When we choose to empower ourselves, we also inspire and uplift those around us. Our growth becomes a source of encouragement for others, showing them what's possible when we prioritize learning, self-awareness, and intentional living. Empowerment is contagious. It has the power to create a positive feedback loop that not only transforms individuals, but also communities. This collective impact underscores the importance of shifting our focus from entertainment, which isolates us in passive consumption, to empowerment, which connects and energizes us. Ultimately, the choice between entertainment and empowerment comes down to how we want to live our lives. It's about asking ourselves whether we want to be passive observers or active participants, whether we want to escape from our challenges or rise to meet them. It's a decision that we make every day, often in small, seemingly insignificant moments, but over time, these moments add up, shaping the trajectory of our lives and determining the legacy we leave behind. Let me know if you'd like more tweaks. We live in a world where distractions are ubiquitous, pulling our attention in multiple directions and leaving us with little time or focus for what truly matters. In this environment, it becomes increasingly important to learn how to clear the mental and physical clutter that stands in the way of progress. The key to achieving clarity and focus is understanding how our attention works and deliberately making choices that prioritize our mental space. By making intentional efforts to reduce distractions, we can unlock the ability to focus on what is truly significant, allowing us to achieve our goals and live with purpose. One of the first steps in cultivating clarity and focus is acknowledging that not everything deserves our attention. In a world filled with constant notifications, social media updates, and an ever-increasing number of tasks demanding our time, we often feel like we need to be engaged with everything. However, the reality is that only a small portion of these distractions are truly important. Much of our attention is consumed by trivial matters that do not contribute to our growth or our long-term goals. This could be anything from endlessly scrolling through social media to engaging in conversations that drain our energy, or attempting to multitask on tasks that don't require our full focus. Recognizing that we don't need to be involved in everything is the first step in freeing up the mental space needed for clarity and focus. The next step is to eliminate or minimize the distractions that do not serve us. This may involve creating boundaries around our time, such as limiting the amount of time we spend on social media or setting aside specific periods for work and personal time. In addition to managing our time, we need to assess the quality of the content we consume. Often, we mindlessly watch TV shows or read articles that have little relevance to our lives or goals. The content we engage with shapes our mindset. And if we fill our minds with irrelevant or negative information, it becomes much harder to stay focused on our objectives. Being more selective with the media we consume, whether it's books, podcasts, or online content, can significantly enhance our ability to think clearly and remain focused. To create lasting focus, we must also address the internal distractions that come from our own thoughts. We are often our own worst enemies when it comes to clarity, constantly battling with negative self-talk, worries about the future, or past regrets. These thoughts create mental noise, making it difficult to focus on the task at hand. Learning to quiet this inner dialogue is essential for cultivating clarity. One powerful technique for achieving this is mindfulness. Mindfulness practices such as meditation or simply being present in the moment can help train the mind to let go of unnecessary thoughts and focus on what's most important. By regularly practicing mindfulness, we build the mental muscle needed to block out distractions and stay centered on our goals. In addition to eliminating distractions, it is crucial to structure our environment in a way that supports our focus. The physical space we work and live in can have a significant impact on our mental clarity. A cluttered or disorganized environment can create feelings of overwhelm and make it harder to concentrate. By decluttering our physical spaces and organizing them in a way that promotes productivity, we create an environment that encourages focus and reduces stress. This might involve cleaning up your desk, setting clear boundaries between work and personal spaces, or even redesigning your living space to foster a sense of calm and order. Another important aspect of achieving clarity and focus is learning to prioritize our tasks effectively. It's easy to become overwhelmed by a long to-do list, especially when we feel like we need to do everything at once. The key to managing tasks and staying focused is learning how to prioritize based on what is most important and time-sensitive. Not everything on your to-do list deserves your immediate attention. Some tasks can be delegated, some can be postponed, and some may not even need to be done at all. By using prioritization methods such as the Eisenhower matrix or the Pareto principle, we can make smarter decisions about where to focus our energy. This helps us avoid the feeling of being busy without being productive and ensures that we are always working on what truly matters. Clarity and focus are also enhanced when we take care of our physical health. Our ability to concentrate is directly linked to our overall well-being, so taking care of our bodies is an essential part of maintaining mental clarity. Regular physical activity, a healthy diet, and adequate sleep all contribute to better cognitive function and improved focus. When our bodies are well rested and nourished, our minds are clearer and more capable of staying engaged with our tasks. In contrast, neglecting our physical health can lead to fatigue, brain fog, and an inability to concentrate, which makes it much harder to stay focused on what's important. Time management plays a crucial role in cultivating clarity and focus. Many of us are busy, but not necessarily productive. Jumping from task to task without a clear sense of direction, a lack of time management can leave us feeling scattered and unfocused. By planning our time effectively and scheduling blocks for deep, uninterrupted work, we can ensure that we are dedicating sufficient time to the tasks that require our full attention. Time blocking, for example, is a technique where you assign specific time periods to certain tasks, minimizing distractions and increasing productivity. Having a clear plan for how to spend your time each day reduces uncertainty and helps to maintain focus. Finally, it's important to recognize that achieving clarity and focus is not a one-time event, but a continual practice. Life is full of distractions, and our ability to focus will always be challenged by new demands, opportunities, and interruptions. The key is to stay consistent with the strategies that work for you. Regularly revisiting your goals, reassessing your priorities, and fine-tuning your environment will help you stay on track. Over time, the habits you build to eliminate distractions and increase focus will become second nature, allowing you to approach each day with a clear sense of purpose and direction. Certainly, here's the expanded keynote. When we think of passive consumption, we often think of entertainment, watching movies, scrolling through social media, or engaging with content that requires little to no effort. While these activities can be enjoyable in moderation, they don't contribute much to our long-term growth. They are passive by nature, designed to absorb our attention without asking anything in return. On the other hand, active learning is something that requires our full engagement, our focus, and our willingness to grow. It demands that we invest time and energy into things that challenge us, expand our minds, and push us beyond our comfort zones. Passive consumption can be a way to escape, a way to temporarily disconnect from the pressures of life, but it can also be a trap. When we spend too much time consuming without creating or learning, we start to stagnate. Our mental and emotional energy is drained without replenishing us with the tools we need to improve. That's why active learning is so essential. It's about choosing to engage with content, ideas, and experiences that are designed to help us grow. Whether it's through reading a book that broadens our understanding, listening to a podcast that challenges our assumptions, or attending a seminar that equips us with new skills, active learning provides us with the opportunity to shape our future in a meaningful way. One of the most important aspects of active learning is its focus on engagement. When we consume content passively, we absorb information without necessarily processing or applying it. It's like watching a movie and forgetting the plot as soon as the credits roll. With active learning, however, we engage deeply with what we're learning. We ask questions, take notes, reflect on the material, and think about how it applies to our lives. This level of engagement ensures that the knowledge we gain isn't just superficial, but can be internalized and put to use. Active learning forces us to be present and intentional about what we're consuming. Another key element of active learning is its focus on action. It's not enough to simply consume knowledge. We must also apply it. This is where the real transformation happens. When we take the information we've gained and put it into practice, we turn theory into tangible results. This could be as simple as using a new productivity technique we've learned, or as complex as applying a new skill we've acquired in our work or personal life. And when we do that well, we can see evidence of that. The key is to take what we've absorbed and use it to move ourselves closer to our goals. Without this step, the knowledge we gain remains abstract and disconnected from our reality. Active learning is also deeply personal. It's about finding the resources and opportunities that align with our individual goals and values. Everyone learns differently, and what works for one person might not work for another. Some people thrive by reading, others by listening, and still others by doing. The important thing is to identify what helps us learn best and make that a part of our routine. We should seek out content that excites us, that challenges us, and that propels us toward becoming the person we want to be. This might mean stepping outside our comfort zone and exploring new areas of knowledge, or it could involve doubling down on a particular skill we want to master. The point is to take an active role in shaping our learning journey. One of the challenges of active learning is overcoming the inertia of passivity. In a world full of distractions, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of mindlessly consuming content that doesn't serve us. We have to be intentional about how we spend our time and energy. This means setting aside time for focused learning, creating a routine that supports our growth, and eliminating distractions that pull us away from the process. It's about making active learning a priority, not just something we do when we have time. Just like any other habit, it requires consistency and discipline. But perhaps the most rewarding aspect of active learning is its cumulative effect. Every new piece of knowledge we acquire, every skill we develop, builds on the previous one. Over time, this accumulation of learning leads to exponential growth. We become more knowledgeable, more capable, and more confident. We begin to see the connections between ideas, the patterns that govern the world around us, and the solutions to problems that once seemed insurmountable. Active learning doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us better problem solvers, better communicators, and better decision makers. It opens up new possibilities and helps us become more resourceful in the face of challenges. Moreover, active learning fosters a growth mindset, a belief that we are capable of improving and evolving throughout our lives. When we engage with content in an active way, we reinforce the idea that learning is a lifelong process. And this mindset allows us to approach setbacks as opportunities to learn rather than as failures. It gives us the resilience to keep going when things get tough and the confidence to believe that we can always improve. The more we engage with active learning, the more we reinforce the idea that we are in control of our own growth and that we have the power to shape our future. In a world where distractions are everywhere and passive consumption is the default, choosing active learning is an act of empowerment. It's a decision to take control of our own growth and invest in ourselves. It's about moving from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in our own development. Active learning not only transforms us as individuals, it transforms the world around us as we apply what we've learned to make a meaningful impact. And let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Certainly, here's the expanded keynote. Building habits that simplify your life is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting change. In a world that seems increasingly complex, where we are constantly bombarded by distractions and demands on our time, simplicity is often the antidote. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of modern life, but when we focus on simplifying our daily routines, we create more space for what truly matters. Habits are the foundation of our routines, and by cultivating the right ones, we can streamline our lives and make room for growth, peace, and productivity. The first step in simplifying your life through habits is to identify what matters most. Often, we get caught in the trap of doing things because we feel we should, not because they actually contribute to our goals or well-being. These activities can drain our energy and make our lives feel chaotic. To break free from this, we need to clarify our priorities and focus on what truly adds value to our lives. This means making a conscious effort to let go of activities, people, or commitments that no longer serve us. When we simplify the clutter of our lives, we clear the space for habits that support our greater purpose. Once we've identified what truly matters, we can start to cultivate the habits that will help us achieve those priorities. Habits are powerful because they operate on autopilot. Instead of relying on willpower and motivation, which can fluctuate, habits allow us to take consistent action without needing to think about it. For example, if one of your priorities is health and fitness, creating a simple habit of exercising for 30 minutes each morning can set the tone for the rest of the day. When this habit becomes ingrained, it no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a natural part of your routine, and you begin to experience the physical and mental benefits that come from regular exercise. Another key to simplifying your life through habits is to start small and build gradually. Trying to overhaul your entire routine overnight can feel overwhelming and lead to burnout. Instead, begin with one habit at a time and give yourself the grace to adjust. For example, if you're trying to create a habit of reading, you don't have to start by committing to an hour of reading each day. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes a day, and gradually increase the time as the habit becomes more established. By starting small, you reduce the chances of feeling overwhelmed or discouraged, and you create a sustainable foundation for long-term change. Consistency is another crucial aspect of building habits that simplify your life. It's easy to fall off track, especially when life gets busy or unexpected challenges arise. But the key to habit formation is persistence, even when things don't go perfectly. It's about showing up day after day and making incremental progress. Over time, these small actions add up to big results. The more consistent we are with our habits, the more they become ingrained in our daily routines, and the less energy we need to devote to them. They become second nature, freeing up mental and emotional bandwidth to focus on other important aspects of life. One of the most significant benefits of building habits that simplify your life is the mental clarity it provides. When we have a clear structure to our day, we no longer have to waste time deciding what to do next. Our habits provide us with a framework that guides us through our day, reducing decision fatigue and helping us focus on the tasks that matter most. This mental clarity allows us to be more productive, less stressed, and more present in the moment. Instead of juggling a million tasks and feeling overwhelmed, we can move through our day with intention and focus. Creating habits that simplify your life also means being intentional about your environment. The spaces we inhabit have a profound effect on our mental and emotional state. A cluttered, chaotic environment can make us feel overwhelmed, while a clean and organized space can promote clarity and peace. As we build habits that support simplicity, we can also take steps to create an environment that reflects those habits. This might mean decluttering your home or workspace, organizing your schedule, or eliminating distractions that interfere with your focus. When our external environment is aligned with our internal goals, it becomes much easier to maintain the habits that support our well-being. Accountability plays a significant role in the process of building habits. Having someone to support you can make a world of difference in maintaining consistency and staying motivated. This could be a friend, family member, or even a coach who holds you accountable for your progress. When we know someone is tracking our actions or cheering us on, we're more likely to stay committed to our goals. Accountability also provides an opportunity for feedback and encouragement, helping us stay on course when things get tough. As we continue to build habits that simplify our lives, we begin to experience a shift in how we approach challenges. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the demands of life, we become more resilient and adaptable. The simplicity of our routines gives us the mental space to think creatively and problem solve more effectively. We become better at managing our time, prioritizing our energy, and focusing on what truly matters. Over time, we begin to feel a sense of ease and flow, where our actions are aligned with our goals and values, and life feels less chaotic and more purposeful. Ultimately, building habits that simplify your life is about creating a sense of control and alignment. It's about intentionally choosing the actions that will move you closer to your goals rather than letting life happen to you. By identifying your priorities, starting small, being consistent, and creating a supportive environment, you can build a foundation of habits that not only simplify your daily routine, but also bring greater peace, clarity, and purpose to your life. Let me know if you need any adjustments. So let's get started. Certainly, here's the expanded keynote. In order to simplify our lives and build a foundation for meaningful growth, it's essential to be mindful of the energy we invest in the people and activities around us. Often, we find ourselves caught up in relationships, tasks, or commitments that drain us rather than empower us. We say yes to things out of obligation, out of fear of disappointing others, or simply because we don't know how to set healthy boundaries. The result is a sense of overwhelm, confusion, and a lack of control over our own time and energy. When we invest in the right people and activities, however, we are able to focus our efforts where they matter most, leading to greater clarity, fulfillment, and peace of mind. The first step in investing in the right things is to identify what truly aligns with your values, goals, and vision for your life. We often get swept up in doing what's expected of us or what seems to be the right thing to do, without stopping to ask if it aligns with our deeper purpose. This might be as simple as saying yes to social obligations because we feel guilty, even though we're already stretched thin. Or it could be committing to a project or task that isn't actually contributing to our personal or professional growth. In these moments, it's crucial to take a step back and ask ourselves, does this serve me? When we align our actions with our values and long-term goals, we naturally begin to invest our energy in things that will support our growth and happiness. One of the most powerful ways to invest your energy wisely is by nurturing relationships that lift you up and contribute positively to your life. We all have a limited amount of emotional bandwidth, and it's important to spend that bandwidth on people who inspire, encourage, and challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. Not every relationship, however, is mutually beneficial. While we may feel a sense of loyalty or obligation to people who have been in our lives for years, we must recognize when a relationship no longer adds value. This doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone who isn't perfect, but it does mean being discerning about the energy we invest. Surrounding ourselves with people who share our values, who uplift us when we're down, and who inspire us to reach for more is one of the best ways to ensure we're investing in the right things. It's also important to recognize that investing in the right things isn't just about people. Our time and energy are limited resources, and we must be intentional about how we spend them. We can often fall into the trap of overcommitting, thinking that by doing more, we'll achieve more. But the truth is that doing more doesn't necessarily lead to greater results. It often leads to burnout and frustration. By being more selective about the activities we engage in, we create space for the things that truly matter. This could mean cutting back on unnecessary meetings, saying no to tasks that don't align with our goals, or focusing more on quality over quantity. The more we simplify our commitments, the more energy we free up to focus on what truly contributes to our growth and success. In addition to simplifying our relationships and commitments, it's equally important to focus on investing in activities that promote our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Too often, we neglect self-care, thinking that it's selfish or indulgent, when in reality, it's necessary for sustaining long-term success and happiness. Whether it's engaging in regular exercise, eating nourishing foods, practicing mindfulness, or simply getting enough rest, taking care of ourselves is a critical investment in our future. We cannot give from an empty cup, and when we prioritize our own well-being, we are better equipped to show up fully in all aspects of our lives. Part of investing in the right things is also about being intentional with the information we consume. In today's digital age, we are constantly bombarded with information, much of it irrelevant or distracting. The books we read, the podcasts we listen to, and the content we engage with all have the potential to shape our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Therefore, it's important to be mindful of the information we allow into our lives. By actively choosing resources that support our goals, challenge our thinking, and provide us with useful insights, we can ensure that we're investing our time in content that empowers us, instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching endless hours of entertainment. We can make more intentional choices that expand our knowledge, spark creativity, and encourage personal growth. It's equally important to consider the investment of time. And in a world where everyone seems to be in a constant rush, we often think of time as something we can never get back. But when we become intentional about how we spend our time, we begin to understand that time is one of our most precious resources. Prioritizing the activities that align with our long-term vision and values allows us to invest our time in ways that create lasting impact. This might mean setting aside time for personal reflection, working on a side project that excites you, or simply spending more time in nature to recharge. When we invest our time wisely, we create a life that is more fulfilling and meaningful. As we continue to build habits that prioritize the right investments, we begin to notice a shift in our mindset. We stop seeing ourselves as passive participants in life and start taking an active role in shaping our experiences. And by being intentional about where we place our energy and focus, we create the conditions for success, happiness, and fulfillment. We stop wasting time and effort on things that don't matter, and we start focusing on the things that truly move us closer to our goals. The result is a life that feels more aligned, more purposeful, and more in control. Let me know if you'd like any modifications or further expansions